Just like any other MMO, Guild Wars 2 has its cash shop, but there's a lot of things in here, some of it useful, some of it a total waste of money, and some that'll definitely help you pass your next drip check.
What are those?
But what is even worth it to buy? What are the useful things? If you're a new player wanting to make some gem store purchases, here are my top picks from the gem store that are actually worth it. Living World story episodes. If you missed them on their original launch, the only way to access them now is to pay for them. The first reason to get these that comes to mind is so you can see the whole story. Allow yourself to experience what the game has to offer in full. I mean, you're pretty much buying more content with these. What a great deal. But it doesn't stop there. There are map currencies that can be earned in these zones, which can then be traded for loot or materials or even converted to gold. Specifically, the Season 4 zones are particularly profitable in this regard. And also, if you eventually decide to craft the legendary accessories, you're gonna need a lot of these map currency materials. But honestly, I'd recommend eventually getting all of these story episodes just so you can see the whole story. Otherwise, you'll be missing parts, you'll be missing context. It's just better to have the full story. Copper-fed salvage kit. This one is a huge quality of life upgrade. All it is an unlimited salvage kit that costs 3 copper for every use. It has the same functionality as the basic salvage kit that you get from a merchant. It may not necessarily save you gold, but it stops you from having to go back to a merchant every time you need a salvage kit, especially after you've done a big run through some meta events and you now have an inventory full of things to be salvaged. The copper-fed salvage-o-matic will salvage everything for you. It is so much easier than buying a ton of basic kits. This is probably my top pick. It's great value. It is so worth it, especially if it goes on sale. I could also give a quick mention to the silver-fed salvage kit, which is equal to a master salvage kit, which will give you better value when salvaging rare items. But personally, I just craft mystic salvage kits instead, but it's up to you. The silver-fed kit is still a very good purchase. VIP zone passes, or lounges as they are actually called, are actually a really good purchase. I used to think that these were a bit of a gimmick. I didn't mind traveling back to Lion's Arch and walking around to everything I needed. But ever since I started using a VIP zone, I will never go back. Every zone will give you access to the necessities, like bank, crafting station, merchants, trading post, guild bank, mystic forge, even portals to major cities. All of these things in very close proximity to each other. It's very useful. The VIP passes can be used from anywhere to teleport you to them. And in some cases, using it again will teleport you right back to where you were before. Some people have opinions on which VIP zone is actually the best, but they've all got different benefits. So if you want one, take a look on the wiki and see what's available in each of them. The 3 that seem to be most popular are Mistlock Sanctuary, Armistice Bastion, and Thousand Seas Pavilion. Unbreakable gathering tools. These are another big quality of life improvement. Like the name suggests, these tools do not break. They are unlimited. You will go through hundreds, if not thousands, of gathering tools. So it makes sense to eventually just buy a set of unbreakable tools. But some of them have other benefits that will help them pay for themselves, so to speak. Some of the tools have glyphs, which give bonuses while gathering, most notably the volatile magic gathering tools. These will gather volatile magic with every use, which you can then use to make extra gold. Very nice. Now, just as a recommendation, you might want to wait until a full set goes on sale, because otherwise these can sometimes be pretty expensive if you buy them all individually. And on the topic of waiting until they go on sale, you might also want to just wait until the set that you want goes on sale, like the volatile set that I just mentioned. Character slots. If you don't have extra character slots, this can be a great purchase. Your account starts with only 5 slots, and seeing as there are 9 professions, if you want to play all 9, you're gonna have to pay for some extra slots. Buying a character slot so you can play a new profession is kind of like buying more content. Since every profession is so different, it's like a whole new gameplay experience with every character slot you buy. Or you can be based and make a second character of your favorite profession. Only this time, make a 9-foot tall, thick female Norn battle waifu. Ooh, I should do that. Bank tabs and the storage expander. I'm gonna lump these two in together since they're very similar. Generally speaking, they're things that you might eventually need. This depends on the person though. I hear some players are totally fine with the standard starter starter bank. The storage expander is going to let you store more materials, increasing by 250 units with every purchase. If you find yourself stockpiling a lot of materials, you might want to consider this. The bank tabs are pretty much the same, except you only start out with one tab, and you might find yourself filling it up pretty quickly, and if that's the case, you might want to buy extra storage. The only alternative to bank space is to create a character specifically for storing things. But I've always thought that's kind of a scuffed way of doing it. You'll end up wasting a character slot, and even still, you can only store as much as one character can hold in their inventory, and you still have to use the bank storage to transfer things off of that character. Well, whatever. To each their own, I suppose. Shared inventory slots. These can be really useful. You'll notice there are slots above the main inventory window. These are the shared slots. Whatever you put in these slots will be there for every character's inventory. Very good to have, especially if you have important items you want to have available to all characters. For example, the copper-fed salvage kit, or the VIP passes, maybe some teleport to friends. I've heard some people even put their Unbreakable gathering tools there. Point being, you will eventually collect valuable items you will want to have available to all your characters, and shared inventory slots will make this much easier. Just put something in there and forget about it. Now, real quick, I suppose I will just give a quick honorable mention to any cool looking cosmetic skin that you really like. Because you know, sometimes we can't help ourselves and we just get baited by that new shiny item. Hey, I'm guilty of that myself. The true endgame of Guild Wars 2 is fashion after all. Or feel free to indulge in some Black Lion keys if you like to gamble. Please play responsibly. And before we end, I will just make a quick mention of the gold to gems conversion tab. So if you keep up with gold making methods, or maybe you're a very active player, you might have lots and lots of gold. That way you might not have to spend any real money on any of these items. But just keep in mind the conversion rate does fluctuate. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up now. I've mentioned all the gem store items that I actually think are valuable to buy. Depending on your own priorities, you might feel differently about some of these items, and that's okay. Or you might feel that I missed something that's valuable, in which case please do share with the group. Anyways, I hope this helped you out or you found it interesting. Goodbye for now.